Hello, thank you for stopping by my podcast. This is Tish. Um, and if you following me and you notice there were no recordings the past 2 days, I'm still sick and it was really bad the past 2 days, just coughing and my voice was gone and so I just didn't, and even today I'm still not 100%, but I really wanted to do this one because this is a good one. So today is Friday, January 23rd, 2009. The reading is in the book of First Corinthians, chapter 15, verses 50 through 52. And I'll read the King James Version first. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay, and the NIV reads as follows. I declare to you, brothers, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, nor does the perishable inherit the imperishable. Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. Okay, these two verses, if you don't know anything about the Bible, these two you really have to know the background of this scenario or whatever. Okay, um, we believe that Jesus is going to come back and he's going to take everyone. People who've died, their bodies are in cemeteries or cremated or whatever. But then there's believers who are not dead who, were alive. So in this part where it says, we will not all sleep, but we will all be changed, that's saying when he comes back, he's going to take even believers who are alive. Asleep, we believe there means the dead, because your body dies, but your spirit goes to heaven with God. But if you don't know about the trumpet sounding in a twinkling of an eye, we believe there's this thing called the rapture. That's what we call it in English. If you, and this is kind of, it's not a controversy, but people who try to refute the Bible or say that it's incorrect or there's inconsistent, one thing they always say is, well, you guys talk about this rapture and nowhere in the Bible does it say the word rapture, and that's true. But what it does say is we'll all be caught up. And the reason that we say rapture is because in translating from the different languages, because the Bible wasn't originally written in English, it was written in probably Aramaic, and then it got translated. But so I think from Greek to Italian, the phrase caught up in Italian is rapturo, rapturo. So rapturo to English is rapture. So you go from caught up in Greek, whatever, however they say it in Greek, to rapturo in Italian, to rapture in English. So that's why we say the rapture, and that just means that's when Jesus is going to come and take all the believers with him, whether they're alive or dead. So flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. That means these bodies that we have were flesh and blood. These bodies cannot go to the kingdom of God. So we get these new heavenly bodies or glorified bodies. And these bodies, nothing, we can't do anything to them to damage them. They'll be indestructible, incorruptible, imperishable, whatever word you want to use, everlasting, heavenly glorified bodies. So this passage, these two passages right here, or these two verses rather, they get used a lot when people are suffering physically usually, or could be mentally, because a lot of times people have disabled children, they probably wonder, why did this happen to us, you know, and you're supposed to be able to find comfort knowing that these bodies are only temporary, and when we go to heaven or Jesus comes back to get us, we'll get new glorified bodies that will have no deformities or handicaps, whatever you want to call it. And that's when these two verses right here get quoted. From what I've seen, my personal experience, I don't really know anyone whose bodies are, who have problems. I mean, my kids have asthma, but that's nothing major. We all have all our limbs and they all work, and I'm thankful for that. So, but when I hear these verses quoted, or I hear pastors talk about these, it's mostly with the emphasis on, these bodies, they break down, they get old, and then, but in heaven, we'll have heavenly bodies that will never deteriorate. And then it emphasizes again, in a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, Jesus comes, and that's why we're supposed to be living as Christ-like as we can every minute of every day, because you never know when he's coming. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you in some way. Like I always say, I do this because I do my daily Bible study anyway, and I just had an idea that I should make a podcast so I could share it with someone who's maybe too busy to do their own Bible study, and they could listen to it while they're doing whatever it is they do to make them busy. Okay, again, thank you for listening. I hope to be back tomorrow on my regular schedule. But if not, thank you for listening. Bless and be blessed, and I'll hear you in the next recording.